to our invitation. On behalf of the Minority Caucus, we have called this press conference to ask a simple question, but very simple, but very serious questions, very serious questions, on behalf of the Ghanaian people. And the question is, what changed? What has changed in our values from 2024? And what has changed now in 2026? Have Ghanaians changed their values on LGBT since 2024? If that has not changed, if nothing has changed in our value system, then the bill which Ghana passed, Ghanaians wanted, 93% of the population deemed as very important, should be the same bill that is important to the Ghanaian people today. What has changed? In 2024, Ghanaians were told that the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill required only presidential assent. That was all that Ghanaians said they needed. Indeed, NDC were very forceful in joining those calls, but all that was needed was presidential assent. The country was urged to pressure President Nana Akufo-Addo to sign the bill immediately. In 2026, however, the same bill, when we place it before them, in the expectation that the same President Mahama, who promised to sign the same bill that they wanted President Akufo-Addo, and we all wanted President Akufo-Addo to sign. However, when that bill was placed, the bill in that form was not presented to President Mahama, but had to be mutilated, had to go through major surgeries, had to be amended, had to be deleted. Original provisions from the bill 22 had to be deleted, redrafted, and 31 insertions made before President Mahama would have it and desire it to sign it. Was that a promise? Was the promise to come and amend, review, mutilate, alterate, dilute the bill before he signs? You all remember. The promise was clear. Vote for me. I will come and sign the bill. On all their platforms, they said, vote MPP out because they won't sign the bill. Vote NDC. NDC will come and sign that bill. They did not say NDC will come and amend that bill. NDC will come and review that bill. NDC will come and delete provisions from that bill and redraft it before we sign. That is a scam, and that is breach of trust. That is deception, and that is hypocrisy. So today, instead of President Mahama to assent to the same bill we passed in 2024, they have changed it extensively, and what they have today is materially different from what was passed in 2024. Substantially different. You can't subject a bill to 22 deletions and 31 insertions, total of 31 amendments, and expect that the bill is the same. You have overhauled it. It's just the title that is the same, and you all agree. So they have totally changed the bill, and now, today, the mighty minority in Parliament and the good people of Ghana are asking, what informed the NDC's change of mind? What informed their change of mind? Their sudden change of position? If the old bill was truly ready for President Nana Akufo-Addo to sign, and if they sincerely believed in that bill, why was that same bill not placed before President Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the same form for him to assent? Why did they now have to water it down? Let the record reflect, and let no one twist our position. We are not against the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill. As a matter of fact, we have been consistent in our position and our principles. We are not against Parliament's authority to legislate, but we are not attacking MPs in any way. All that we are saying is that our concern is twofold. That the bill appears, and not only appears, substantially has lost the force and the bites and the thrusts, the deterrence, the efficacy that it contained and carried in 2024. Now, long story short, from the mantra of sign the bill now, sign the bill now, the same people who sign the bill now are saying delete, amend, and insert the bill before assent. Why the change? Ladies and gentlemen, it is very serious what we are going to reveal to you, because all of us know that for 66 years now, since 1960, same-sex marriage has always been criminal. Not so? Man cannot marry man since 1960. According to the Criminal and Other Offences Act in 1960, for 66 years, a woman cannot marry a woman in this country. For 66 years, homosexuality is criminal. And so it is already in our laws. Homosexuality, a man cannot have sex with a man. And all that is already in our laws. So, if you look at the watered down bill that they have passed and what was already in our Criminal and Other Offences Act, the question is, what new mischief did they seek to cure? We all know that the only mischief that has been the concern of Ghanaians and we sought to cure through legislation and through the private members bill was to clamp down on promulgation, on promotion, on advocacy, on sponsorship, on support, on enabling, on creating the environment, clandestine avenues, the very people, agencies, foreign donors, and the Quasar State House, and other individuals, professionals, and groups of people, which we all know, make the promotion and advancement and the advertisement of LGBT most acceptable. Those are the real canker, and that is what legislation sought to cure. And so in the bill that was passed, when you read the portion, the object of the bill is sought to clamp down on promotion, advocacy, and such things, and even preferred 10 years imprisonment, minimum 5 years. But today, NDC have smuggled in various amendments that go to make the bill counterproductive and lack the bite to clamp down on those who are advocating. I'll come to that in detail, but I want to give you evidence-based communication. When we say that 31 amendments were introduced, some people are doubting. Some CSOs and media are calling. Point us to those changes. What is different in this bill from the bill that was passed and expected that the Akufo-Addo will sign? What are those changes? Please come with me. From clause 1 to clause 19, the bill is only a 19-clause bill, small bill. Yet 22 provisions were deleted and redrafted. 31 exceptions were made. So come with me to clause 1, clause by clause evidence. Just a few examples. And here, let us have on the screen the order paper. The order paper of Friday, 29th May, 2026. This yellow book. This is what Parliament officially advertised the amendments, the 31 amendments. And here, turn with me to page 33. Page 33, you will find all the amendments there, starting from clause 1. It runs through all the way to page 41 of the bill, of the order paper. From 33 to page 41, all the 31 changes, deletions, and insertions are there. The surgical operation they did to water down and give Ghana an empty bill is there. So please come with me on the screen. I want you to follow me. Evidence-based. This is not minorities document. This is Parliament record. And here, what is the first clause? Amendment proposed in clause 1. Paragraph A. Opening phrase. Delete who holds out as and insert who identifies openly represents that person or professes as. Why do you want to delete? What is wrong with hold out as? That now you are saying that in this new bill, for one to be prosecuted and jailed for practicing LGBT, he has to openly come and give himself away. Openly identify that I am gay, I am lesbian, and to openly profess. Who is going to come out to do that? Unless those people who are outside the country, in Germany, US, and co, they know themselves. They can sell in foreign country. But those in Ghana, whom the bill must cure the mischief, no one is going to come out. So why delete hold out us and say the person now must come and profess and openly and identify? Come with me to the second change. Amendment proposed. Paragraph C, line 4. After except, delete. Where the procedure is intended to correct a biological abnormality, including intersex. Delete it. And they are saying that now insert the case of intersex. Why? What is the problem with where the procedure is intended to correct a biological abnormality, including intersex? What is the problem with it? And when did NDC suddenly arise that there was a problem with that drafting? In 2024, when they were shouting, sign the bill, vote them out, we will come and sign the bill. Did they see that there was a problem with this provision? Who did they think now that if President Mahama signs this bill, they will offend by stating in the laws that where the procedure is intended to correct a biological abnormality, including intersex, some people will be offended, so delete it. When did they suddenly realize? Now, come with me to clause 9. So all these, so you can just scroll, so everybody will see. 22 deletion, delete, insert, delete, insert, delete, insert, all through. Page 34, clause 3, amendment, delete and insert the following. Any other procedure intended to... Yes, that is another very dangerous. Please hold on there.
Intersex. Calm down.
Clause 3. Amendment proposed. Subclause 1, paragraph F. Subparagraph 2. Delete and insert the following. Any other procedure that is intended to create a sexual category than the sexual category of the person determined at birth, except in the case of intersex. Why? The question is, what is wrong with this provision that must be deleted and a new version inserted? What is the rationale and what is the justification? If it is not good today, was it good in 2024? And if it was good in 2024, what is bad about it in 2026? That it must change. So clause 3, amendment proposed, subclause 1, paragraph G, subparagraph 2, delete and insert the following. Any other procedure that is intended to create a category, so that's another, it's a repetition.
Yeah,
So the next one, clause 3, amendment proposed, subclause 3, delete and insert as follows. Now, please pay attention. Let us all go through critically. Why delete an entire clause, subclause 3, and insert a whole new rendition? What was wrong with the previous? Now it says, for the purpose of this section, sexual intercourse occurs where a person, for sexual gratification, stimulates or penetrates the anus, mouth, or any other part of the body of a person of the same sex, and all these on the screen. So the question journalists and Ghanaians are asking those who deleted the previous one, the same provision they stood on air, on radio platforms in the Chamber of Parliament to defend, the same people today are arguing for the deletion and insertion of a new one. There are many of these. Many of these. Now, when it comes to clause 9, which is the thrust of this matter. As for all the bills, please, you can just go through. You can go through and let's carry everybody along so that we all see the changes. So when we say there are 31 amendments, it is not an imagination. This is Parliament's own record. These are all the amendments. Delete, insert, 22 delete. So after we have seen all the, now to clause 9, which is a major betrayal and which is an unpardonable, unconscionable attempt by the NDC to scam all of Ghanaians. Let's look at. That is why I stood up. That was the portion we got when I stood up with my colleagues, Fordjour and co, and we were forcefully drawing the attention of Ghanaians that look at how they are smuggling in these alien, these counterproductive elements. Clause 9, amendment proposed. Add the following new sub-clause. What does that mean? This wasn't in the old bill. The old bill, they said sign the bill, sign the bill. we will come and sign the bill. This was not in. They wanted to smuggle this in. And for the record, this was never discussed at the committee. This was never discussed at consideration when the sponsors met the committee. And for the media, you are the same people. We knew well that these people, you can't trust them. These NDC government, you can't trust them. They promise one thing and they fail and do another thing. They are scam government, you can't trust them. So let us do the consideration. When we met at the committee, we went at Fiesta Royal and we carried you along with the live telecast. Please, can any media house show me a clip where under those considerations we agreed to or considered and accepted that there should be exemption created for certain categories of people and given the free pass to promote activities that engender, advocate for, and incentivize LGBT activities, and such people should be made to stand above the law. Who is above the law in this country? Any media house who can give me that clip, I'll be very grateful. And it's for that reason, in all transparency, we insisted that we do the considerations live. So if anybody says, oh, in a committee, they say it was your report, you went and considered it and they put it in, bring me that live telecast. And everything we discussed, Ghanaians were witnesses. So let us get to action. Add the following new subclause. Subsection 2 does not apply. Please, for emphasis, subsection 2 does not apply to the following categories of persons and institutions. A. So I want to read all the exemptions. Oh, very well. So let us go. Let's go to subsection 2. That subsection 2 that they are now coming to create exceptions for certain categories of people in the bill. Subsection 2. Let us read what that subsection 2 of clause 9 says, so that Ghanaians, you will all come along with us. That do you really think that such a clause should be maintained? Should that such a clause, some exemption should be given to it at all? So now let us get to it. The entire clause 9, the title of it is Prohibition of Propaganda of, Promotion of, and Advocacy for Activities Prohibited under this Act. This is the main thrust of the object of the bill. This is what we don't have in any part of our existing laws for which this bill came about. Otherwise, same-sex marriage, homosexual, they are all there. They are already illegal. This is what is not in our bill, in any law for which we brought it. And we said that subject to the Constitution. So already, once you bring subject to the Constitution, everyone who is a journalist, who is a medical doctor, who is a professor, an academic, whatever professional that you are, your rights are protected. Your rights, the right of a lawyer to represent an accused murderer is protected. And you go and represent a murderer, and nobody will come and say that we are going to jail you for murder, or you are going to promote murder, because you have your right under this. And no lawyer also goes to defend an accused person of any crime to promote a crime. When a lawyer goes to represent an accused person for murder, he goes to defend the fundamental rights. And he does not go to court and say, my lord, this murderer, he can go ahead and murder more and murder more. People can go and murder. He doesn't go to promote murder. He goes to just defend the rights. And even when the person is jailed, he's still entitled to a lawyer. But that lawyer doesn't go to say, my lord, let us promote murder, armed robbers, go and kill and kill and kill. No, they don't promote it. They only what? Defend the fundamental human rights. When that person is incarcerated and is even in prison and he's unwell, he's entitled to go to a doctor to seek treatment. And the doctor is not promoting any such crime. So let us get the difference for those whom NDC is deceiving that, oh, we brought this to protect you. It is a lie. Your protection is already there in the law. So let us get to the provision. So it says that subject to the Constitution, a person shall not, as for the 9-1, it's all there, but let's focus on the 2. A person shall not promote or support an act prohibited under this act. I take it again. A person shall not promote or support an act prohibited under this act. B. A person shall not engage in, participate in, promote, or support an act aimed at changing public opinion towards an act prohibited under this act. Or C, a person shall not offer premises or any other movable or immovable asset or provide any form of assistance for purposes of promoting, with emphasis on, with the purpose, for purposes of promoting an act prohibited under this act. So, if you are a journalist and you are not engaged in any activity of LGBT, what exemption do you need? Is any bill targeting you? If you're a lawyer and you haven't done any premises, movable or immovable, that is promoting such acts, how is this bill offensive to you? Let us get a distinction clear. So this is what clause 2 says, that nobody should promote any such things. Don't do things that will entice, advocate for, and make it enticing, incentivize, advertise, campaign for it. Don't do it. But they say that no, insert this immunity. This is an immunity clause. You are lifting them above the law and saying that if you are within these categories, you can do anything that promotes LGBT, that advocates for LGBT, supports and sponsors LGBT, enables LGBT, and just by virtue that you fall within these categories, as for you, you are above the law, you should be exempted. And let's hear the exemptions. It says, A, the provision of legal advice or legal representation. So I can say I'm a lawyer, I have a client who is LGBT, and I'm giving him or her legal advice, so I can go and engage in LGBT. I can go and promote LGBT. I can go and participate in LGBT, and yet I have been exempted from punishment. I can't go to jail for 10 years. Who then is to go to jail? Who then are you targeting? Then B, submissions or representations made to a court, tribunal, parliament, commission of inquiry, or a body exercising judicial or quasi-judicial functions. So I can go to court, to parliament, commission of inquiry, and go and say that LGBT, open the floodgates, open it. My lords, open it. Let everybody do what they like. What do people do in their rooms? What does it concern you? LGBT is a human. You can go and do that, and you are exempted from the bill, even in parliament. Now, see, the publication of an academic, scientific, or medical opinion. So, for instance, this physical and education and health book, elective for senior high schools, the teacher manual, which they have written on page 3, that now gender identity is no longer what is assigned at birth, but inner feeling. You can be man, or you can be male or female, or a blend of both, or you can change whatever you want at any time. This government printed and distributed. Now they are creating exceptions so they can print more of these. That any academic, you can do a journal, you can do research and say that I am promoting and publishing things that say that